Wow, what's happening? So, Gervonta Tank Davis, right? And I'm gonna keep saying this, right? Because out of the love I have for the dude, now I ain't got no respect for how he carry himself as a man. Now I'm whatsoever, you feel me? I don't care about what none of you PUSSY, FUCK boys got to think or say about me in any way, shape, form, or fashion. You dig? That I'm jumping a gun, that I'm not on bro code or none of this trash, bro. Bro, God has blessed me with many years on this planet, and I fully expect him to bless me with many more years on this planet. Feel me? But at the end of the day, we all have a choice, right? So the choice that Gervonta Tank Davis is making, right? Considering the fact that this man was under the wing of one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters that's ever existed in Floyd Money Mayweather, right? I remember distinctively when Floyd was trying to get Gervonta to work out in Vegas, right? Coming from Baltimore to work out in Vegas, and he just refused to do it. There was actually a beef and a rift between that. And I say, you see, he's not listening. He's just not listening to what's going on, you know, what's best for his career. So what they do, they put him in a ring with these Uber and Lyft drivers, right? You know, and it worked successfully. Is because, you know, his career popularity has transcended and it grew and it grew and it grew, and he knocks people out. Well, that's a good you know business model, is to knock people out, right? Because people like to see you know, people destroyed or dismantled, you know. And but one sad thing we've seen is that Tank is just dismantling itself, and I blame not only him for people that he has in his corner, or lack thereof for that matter, but for this man to come out on public record and state that he doesn't have a lawyer, he doesn't have a PR, and he just doesn't have an intelligent team to be the structure that this guy needs for the system to operate correctly. And it's a sign that things will come. These are all the crazy indicators. What happens to the thin ice right before, you know what I'm saying, it caves in, right? Don't it crack? Don't you start to hear and see the cracks? I've never been on thin ice, but I've seen, you know, movies and different things about thin ice, you know what I'm saying? Like I've been on glass that was fragile, so I can think that it's the same way, right? And be able to make associations with our minds and think that and see, well, look, that's something that's about to happen. I don't want to see Tank cave into this to the thin ice. I don't want to see that happen to him. We see it happen over and over again with all these brothers, and YouTube wants to see it happen. Let me tell you what I know for sure, right? With these algorithms, you see, that's one thing I know as I study algorithms, right? And it's artificial intelligence. You know, bro, I tell you, bro, this world is it's an incredible time to be alive. At the same time, bro, it's, if you're not paying attention, bro, it's just you're not gonna make it fall. Now, one thing I know for sure is that this platform is extremely intelligent. Why am I saying that? Why did I shift from blaming Gervonta Tank Davis and his team to talking about algorithms, right? If this is going over your head, well, maybe this is time for you to click out of the video. But the ones that's sticking around who want some game, I'm about to put you on game, right? So I showed you in my last video, right? Maybe I'll clip that in here, maybe I won't. Now, look at this and check this out, right? So, approximately a month ago, right, as you can see here, I posted this video, right, with the beef that was going on between Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis, right? But the front of the title is F this, nigga, let's fight, right? And Shakur Stevenson slams Gervonta Tank Davis, right? I want y'all to read those keywords. F that NIGGA, let's fight, right? As you can see, that generated 24,000 views for you know, my channel, which is relatively small in comparison, you know, to a lot of the other boxing channels. But I've been doing this for a minute now, you know what I'm saying? Even though I went on a little jose, you dig? Like, you know, my channel was still performing, even, you know, 6 months 6 months off of the street, you dig? But anyway, man, as you can see here, you know what I'm saying, like my channel has been generating, some pretty good views, you dig? You see this other video with Gervonta Davis, right? You know what I'm saying? Hit for 20.4, right? But as soon as I start talking about this situation with him and this domestic violence issue that he has going on with this chick, right? As you can see, obviously, I'm being shadow banned, But what I showed is that the algorithms was pushing when it's distractive beef stuff that was going on between Floyd and Tank, and between Tank and Shakur Stevenson and all these other guys, right? Oh, the algorithms was loving that because y'all sit back and y'all watch that all day long, right? But when it's something that comes into play that's a disturbance to y'all actually watching it, right? So anybody who posted something that was against the trend of what was going on with Tank, right, yesterday, right? Because when the so-called news came out, right, people automatically used his past situation, which we logically and reasonably can do. I don't know what y'all do talking about. The root makes the fruit, idiots. We can't use that past thing to this now. Don't the credit scores, don't your credit history do that to you? Don't jobs do that to you? Don't the judge, when he throw the book at you and tell you to read it in a week, don't he do that to you? Don't these lawyers do that to you? So you gonna act like your history all of a sudden just don't mean nothing, man. We can't use their history. Man, whatever, bro. Get out of here, bro. So what I'm saying is to you is that when you compare the two forces, right? The algorithm said, well, we don't want nothing that's gonna disturb these people that's watching this retarded dude. The dude can't even, speak clearly, speak right. We want the youth to pay attention to this idiot. We want the youth to see him doing these things and he suffers no consequences for it, right? And the more they see this, he's not suffering consequences, then they could go out and do the same thing, but they get slammed up and locked up just like that. But this dude, he got the so-called money, right, to get his stuff off of these cases, and it just sends a bad signal to the rest of the youth that's coming up. Then you got people like me, you got people like that's reasonably thinking adults or grown men that actually care about the welfare of the future, right? That's just what we're doing. We're sending this, we put this information out there, you know what I'm saying, to try to help change the world, right? To be a world changer. But it's sad that these algorithms is smart enough, logical enough to, in real time, to dissect the situation and say, you know what, we don't want to kill this watch time with what's going on with him, and we're not going to allow these videos to go viral that's talking about him having this domestic violence thing, or about him choking up the female thing. We're not going to allow these videos to fly out because we want people to pay attention more so to him knocking people out, or to him, having these crazy interviews, but he's really not saying nothing at all. You know what I'm saying? Now that's on Tank. It's because Tank, logically, he has the money, right? This guy can go and spend money and sit down if he cared enough. Well, I want to speak properly. I want to learn how to communicate more effectively. You know what I'm saying? Well, look, boom, he could go and tutor himself, or get guys that could tutor him, or he can do it online, right? Without being distracted, and implement that into his life. Implement meditation where you can slow down and different things of that nature, bro. Coming more into yourself, right? Instead of wilding out with these chicks that don't mean him no good, right? So he puts the wrong women around him, puts the wrong team around him. You swirl all these elements into play, and that goes to show you, bro. It's the same destructive element that this great machine just wants to distract people with. Of course, I already know this video probably not gonna go far. No, man, I don't care though. I don't care. It's because a parent could be watching this and say, let me allow my son to watch this guy's video, so this guy can be the one that's making rational sense about what it is that my son is seeing when it comes to Gervonta Tank Davis and his mistakes and his downfall. I mean, I've been around long enough where you see the same song and dance, bro. Tank is no Floyd Money Mayweather, bro. This man can't buy himself out of everything. Floyd even had to serve time for what he did with females, right? And we all see how that thing turned out in the end, right? And we all gotta pay for our misdeeds and the different things that we do. And I don't want to see Tank fall down the same rabbit hole a lot quicker. I don't want to see this guy get sucked into the great abyss more quicker, but I know a lot of y'all do. And then when we call it out and say, bro, this dude is stupid for having the same thing happen to him over and over again, right? And then come out publicly and admit that he ain't got the right team around him. I mean, that's pretty clear, that's pretty obvious, right? You need to put the right team around him. You need to have the right structure in place, right? You need to have some kind of spiritual element, right? Where it benefits you, not for only the short term and the present right now, but in the long term too, right? You got to have some kind of spiritual connection, right? No matter what your denomination is, you got to be connected to the source in some kind of way. You got to be getting love from some kind of, some kind of spiritual God, one way or the other. Because if you're not, and if you don't have that, if you're disconnected from that source, then you lost. You can't function correctly, right? So that's basically it. That's all I really got to say about it. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy E, when I only boxing. Signing out to the next one. I'll let you ball 100.